Were you thinking, is this going to be my life? Were you thinking, I don't fit this mold, I need to uh, uh, experience something else, something different, something bigger? What are your thoughts around that age? We're talking, what, like early,
Yeah.
like grade school maybe?
The big thing about junior high was when the kids from the South and the kids from the North met, you just knew there was going to be a fight every day, because it was the first time that everybody in the city got put in the same school. So junior high was just basically, getting through that and getting through the fact that people actually wanted you to do well on quizzes and tests. High school was, I just wanted to get through, and then I discovered a couple of sports I was pretty good at. And then I graduated, and it was like, now what do I do? And so I think that's about the time that I started to think about, is there a way to be as good at other things as I was in a couple of sports? But I never had anybody, all my dad ever said was, debías que trabajar en una oficina, porque lo más es duro. You should figure out how to work in an office. I didn't know what that meant, so I went to a junior college and they said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to work in an office. And they signed me up for office management. So I was like 72 words with 3 errors on my typing. That was pretty damn good. But there was no guidance. And I tell you that none of the counselors in school made it their business to reach out and look for talent. So I actually got through high school, first disastrous year of junior college, before I realized that I might have to go find something that I could be really good at.
You talk about your counselors being, pretty apathetic or just kind of going through the motions, not necessarily guiding. So where do you look? Who do you look to for the inspiration, for the motivation, for something different that breaks you out of that mold?
Yeah, in my neighborhood, and of all the people that I knew and all their parents, mostly their fathers, there wasn't a single professional in our neighborhood. So it was hard to think beyond some of the skill crafts like welding. If you could get to welding, it was pretty cool, actually. Out of sports, the guy that coached UCLA, John Wooden, was a big inspiration because he actually had a way of talking about sports that had kind of a reason behind it, kind of had a little bit of thinking about it and a big value system under it. So it was about as close as I could get to, just other than physically performing very well, actually beginning to think about, purpose and about goals and that kind of thing. And so that was about it. The rest of it was pretty much self-discovery, just pretty much self-discovery. But there wasn't even boys clubs or anything like that where people would come in and talk. I got lucky because my father would not tolerate any gang membership, none. And so I got through without being kind of a prisoner to either a drug habit, a jail problem, or anything like that. I got through because my father just said, you're just not going to do 5 things, and that's it. And so once I got through it, then I had the luxury of having choices in front of me and beginning to basically discover what was possible. And it took me a long time. It really did. I putzed around. I finally went back to school at about 23, and I got my degree at 25. I did 3.5 years of schoolwork in about 2 years. But I really had to fuel it myself. And I was just glad that my dad and my mom had great values.
What were the influences that were fueling that? Because it's hard enough to just go through life even if you have a plan. So going through life without having that plan, what is it that was actually fueling that desire to move forward and do better?
Yeah, I was very competitive, and I saw a lot of people that I knew that I thought were favored in some way and were just not very good. And they were all getting all the right kinds of doors opened and everything like that. And I just figured whatever it took, I wanted to both catch up and then exceed.